They're described as raw, coarse, and moving. After returning from Afghanistan, Victor Enns has released a collection of poems based on interviews with Canadian veterans of the Afghanistan conflict, and he joins us here today. Thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Why did you feel it necessary to put these together in poem?
It seemed to be a very good way to represent the voices of Canadian soldiers. The poems themselves are perhaps challenging in content, but are very accessible and are, in fact, trying to get as close to the voices of Canadian soldiers as I could without ever having been a soldier. Writers make stuff up. On the other hand, I also had a lot of time to do research and to interview soldiers from the Princess Patricia's in the base in Shiloh. So the book itself is a combination of imagination and research and interviews. There are some stories that are things that I may have heard, but generally talking to the soldiers, what was important was to get the right emotional tone to the work, and to do that, it's pretty well necessary to use language that they would use, and it's not all about technical stuff, and no matter how technical war has become, when a group of soldiers are in a firefight, the way that they would talk is quite, well, raw. I think it's a very good description.
There's some very, and I guess you probably used the best word, it's aggressive language in this. I want to read one to you. It was called Lookout, and it really jumped off the page to me, and it went something like this. I can tell the Taliban want to kill me. Suicide. Bombers taking a number from the red wheel. Death. Their passport out of here. These are powerful words.
Yes.
What is it about these stories? So, I mean, you're using real-life language. Is that the most effective?
Yes, I think, in fact, that, of course, I'm a writer and I'm looking at different ways of telling stories. I think poetry is an excellent way to capture the intensity and to be very concise. And it's sort of the ability to get the heightened emotion in words that you might see in that kind of a situation that a soldier might be facing. So it's a very good connect.
It really is. You traveled to Afghanistan, you met with some soldiers. What's the experience like over there?
Well, there were two things. In Afghanistan, I met with a lot of civilians, and it was depressing in some point because most of the young men were trying to get out of the country because they had never known anything besides war. The common description when I talked to the civilians in Afghanistan, it wasn't a choice between good or bad. It was a choice between bad or worse.
So we're really covering a wide array.
Yes.
Very quickly, where can we get this book?
In better bookstores everywhere, as they say. It, in fact, just arrived yesterday. So I got to see it for the first time before the book launch yesterday. It will be available in about a week or so in bookstores.
Great. Thanks very much. Victor Enns, pick up the book, bookstores nationwide.